let's talk about the Super Bowl MVP market.
Sure.
And let's start with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody but Mahomes?
So here's the thing. Like, I think obviously this is a quarterback award, and Patrick Mahomes is an alien quarterback, and he's probably going to win if the Chiefs win the game. That being said, if you want to have a little bit of fun, okay, I think there's decent value in Xavier Worthy, and I say that because he's not entirely Patrick Mahomes dependent on getting the ball being thrown the ball, because Andy Reid, the last 20 postseason games, has given a carry to a non-running back, non-quarterback, right? Some non-quarterback, non-running back has gotten a carry in the last 20 Chiefs postseason games. Xavier Worthy's probably that guy. Like, Xavier Worthy's been the guy to get those carries this year. He has a carry in 14 of 18 games this year. He has 2+ carries in six games this year. So if Xavier Worthy gets one of those little end-around deals and breaks one for a touchdown or breaks a long run, again, that's not those stats don't go on Patrick Mahomes. That's just a Xavier Worthy. So if you can break one, I think that's pretty good value at plus 2,800.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll throw a little flyer on that for sure.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I have my lock that I feel like is going to win, that I am all in on in the MVP. However, I'm going to sprinkle on somebody as well. So from the Chiefs' perspective, I don't have a play on the Chiefs. So I'm actually with you on Worthy. Worthy was my guy for the Bills game. I think he cashed. Like, I'm always taking him on his rushing prop. And again, I think this one is 4.5.
So it was 4.5. Now I checked this morning, it was 6.5 on DraftKings.
Everybody's on.
See, that's the thing. Like, everybody's on it, because that was the thing. Because that was going to be my big bet of the day, because he's cleared 4.5 11 times this year. Like 4.5 is almost cash money. 6.5 he's cleared 7 times. So I like it. I just don't like it as much. But like you said, everybody's on it. And if he gets 2 carries, he's definitely going to clear 4 or 6.5. So.
Yeah, and who knows what other ways they're going to get him involved. They do like to hand the ball off to the wide receivers.
Right.
They have to run the football to win this.
They have to. Yeah, they have to run the ball. It's probably going to be mostly Kareem Hunt. I mean, he's been the guy who's getting carries. He outsnapped Pacheco. He doubled Pacheco's snaps last week. So it's probably going to be, if I had to guess the carries, it's probably going to be like 65-35 Kareem Hunt to Pacheco.
And your favorite prop was, remember you gave that because I said it on the show 2 days ago, didn't it feature Kareem Hunt?
Well, it was 1 rush TD and 1 pass TD.
That's right.
Each team. So 1 rush TD, 1 pass TD each team. Plus 190.
Plus 190. I like that too.
Yeah. So again, that's not asking for a lot. Obviously, the Eagles with the tush push, you can get 1 passing touchdown. That's not a problem. The Chiefs run the ball quite a bit, obviously, with Kareem Hunt, excuse me. Patrick Mahomes last week, he had a bunch of rushing attempts as well. So both of those guys, very good shots at getting in the end zone. And then again, a passing touchdown for the Chiefs. I don't think that's a lot to ask for. So plus 190, I don't hate that. Actually, I like your prop a lot. I don't know, plus the touchdown in every quarter. I don't know. Did you see last week there was a guy who parlayed the 2 together. So it was a rush touchdown in every quarter of both of the 2 conference championship games. He parlayed it together. It was like some disgusting number, like plus 100, like something.
Did it hit?
It came to the last quarter of the last game, the AFC title game.
Sure.
There wasn't a rushing touchdown in that last quarter. He would have cashed like $100,000 or some disgusting number. Came down in the last quarter. First 7 quarters of the conference championship games, rushing touchdown. Didn't happen in the last quarter. I'm like,
I wonder if there was a cash out option in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I hope for his sake it was. But yeah, I'm like, that's your prop's really good, because there's these teams run the ball a lot and they run for rushing touchdowns a lot.
Plus 1,500 too. That's a good number. You got my attention.
That's good value.
That's a worthy, $20 if you want to throw in there, $5 if you want to throw, whatever it is. Just get some action on that prop. Sweat with me on Super Bowl Sunday 59. I do love it. It's 1 rushing touchdown, regardless of the team, in each quarter. So all they got to do is run the ball in first, second, third, and fourth quarter. Again, only. We know how this works. Point blank. There it is. It's like, oh, you got 7. Oh, we're golden.
We're good.
All of a sudden, the fourth quarter happens. But we'll see what happens on that one. All right. So for the Chiefs, you like Worthy. And again, Mahomes at plus 120 to me, like if you were going to take the Chiefs, that's
you're going to take the Chiefs. Just take Mahomes.
Take Mahomes to win the MVP.
Yeah.
That's plus money right there. Travis Kelce at 15-1. How is he winning it without Mahomes?
Right.
That's my only issue. Maybe the Taylor Swift effect. Maybe if, there's something that leaks before the game that Travis Kelce's going to hang it up.
He also gets carries as well. I mean, they also kind of run him kind of out of the backfield a little bit as well. So again, if he gets one of those carries near the end zone, pops one in, gets a little 6-yard rushing touchdown to add to his resume, maybe that's the way he gets it. But I think for the value, I think Xavier Worthy at 2,800 is a little bit better.
Wow, Carson Wentz 200-1.
Hey, you know what?
Coming off the bench.
Coming off the bench. Get a little get back, I guess, for Carson Wentz. I don't know.
Let me ask this.
Sure.
How many people would be lined up on the Ben Franklin if Carson Wentz comes in?
Oh my god! Like,
what would be in the hierarchy as far as worst ways to lose? Josh Harris celebrating an NFC Championship win with the Commanders last Sunday in Lincoln Financial Field, or Carson Wentz coming in the second quarter and leading the Chiefs to a Super Bowl victory?
It's got to be Carson. Knowing everything that we know now about the whole backstory and everything that happened in 2017, it's got to be Carson Wentz.
No,
got to be Carson.
Somebody
Wentz.
just slapped me for even saying that out loud, please, man. No, we cannot have that.
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you. I
appreciate it.
All right, so I want to get over to the Eagles.
Yes,
and then we'll come back to defense.
Okay.
For the Eagles, to me. And I have been a Saquon Barkley believer from day one, MVP. I still think he is the best player on this team. I don't think, and this isn't a slight on Jalen, so I can say this without being disrespectful. I don't think they're as successful. And I do believe it will go hand in hand, as somebody said that yesterday. Oh, Jason Kelce said that Saquon would not have the season without Jalen Hurts.
Sure.
I can believe that. I can believe that. But to me, the season success, the team success, the way he wore teams down in the fourth quarter, 4-minute possessions, 8-minute possessions, 10-minute possessions, that's from Saquon. That's Saquon Barkley running the football.
Yep.
He was a monster. Only 9 players have rushed for over 2,000 yards. He did it in 16 games. I don't have to say anything more. To me, he was the MVP of this season for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, for the Super Bowl, we have to remember, first of all, these votes come in early in the fourth quarter.
Correct.
To get them out. So to me, it's not too much of like the imagination running, people trying to think of what the greatest Disney World idea is, Disneyland idea, whatever it may be. Speaking of that, I got to come back to that story too as well.
All right.
So my question to you would be, is it Jalen or is it Saquon? Because for me, it's the quarterback. It's Jalen. He's going to continue to get the brotherly shove touchdowns. He's going to pick up the tough yards. He's going to sling it. He's going to do enough. Saquon, let me ask you this, all right?
Sure. Okay.
What if the Eagles get that type of performance against the Commanders on Super Bowl Sunday, 3 touchdowns apiece, Saquon, Jalen, we know what they did. Who wins the MVP if that's the exact same blueprint?
If we get the exact same blueprint, I think it still probably goes to Jalen Hurts, just because, again, this is a quarterback award. It's biased towards a quarterback. And Jalen played a fantastic. They both had fantastic games against the Commanders. But Jalen Hurts had one of his better games as a passer and as a runner with the three touchdowns. So I think that if it comes down to that similar script, I think it's probably Jalen Hurts, and at plus 350 for a quarterback in a Super Bowl. Again, I think that's really good value for Super Bowl MVP.
I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But you're getting Saquon at plus 260. I heard there's some other books out there that are floating 280, 285. So the price is there.
Yeah, price is there.
Is there a way you can get on both of
I was
these
going to
guys?
say, here's the thing. If you
win.
think the Eagles are going to win, right? Like, could you just put a unit down on both? Like, you're not gonna lose. You're
still gonna come out.
You're still gonna come up.
Yep.
You'll be up
plus 260 plus 350.
Right.
You're still
you're gonna be up either way. So I mean, if you want to play it super safe, I mean, you can drop a unit on both and then be up somewhat.
I just think it's Jalen's award. I think the Eagles win, and I don't like if Saquon goes for 2. If he goes for 165, 180 and 2 touchdowns, like, all right, sure. Could he do it? Of course.
Sure.
If he steals the show and it's a one-man band, of course he's the MVP. But I don't think it's going to be – I don't see how the game script is going to work like that. That's all.
Last time a running back won an MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Terrell Davis, 3 touchdowns, 157 yards. I think it was like 1998. It's really hard for a running back to win this award. Really, I mean, we've seen Julian Edelman win the award since then, right? Like we've seen, players who are not nearly on the level of a Saquon Barkley win the award, non running back. So it's very hard for him to win this award. And it's gonna be I know we're huge Saquon Barkley fans or whatever.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be hard for him to rip off a $157 against this Chiefs defense.
just getting spags.
I'm about to say this Chiefs defense has not allowed a 100 yard running back this season, like at all. Like, so the only person who's had 100 rushing yards against them, Lamar Jackson, week 1, 122 yards.
Come on.
No running back has rushed for 100 yards against this Chiefs
They
defense.
are giving up decent amounts as far as yards per carry, correct?
I think they are, but I know as far as rushing yards, I believe they're fourth in terms of like 101 rushing yards per game. Like, this is a very good running defense. Again, they don't allow running backs to get after them. Quarterbacks, have a little bit of success. So running backs a little bit different. So it's going to be pretty tough. But Saquon, and his offensive line is what it is. So yeah, I'm not going to say Saquon's going to get held in check because he's not. But again,
yeah, look, he scored 3 touchdowns. He had the 160-yarder. I think he finished with 15 against DC.
Yeah, something like that. 115, 118. Yeah.
Like, could we? And somewhat, don't kill me for saying this, but he was kind of held in check.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
the bar is so high for that dude.
Like, he literally
man.
could have 6 touchdowns if they really wanted to give him the ball at the end zone every time. So yeah.
All right. Over to wide receivers real quick as far as the Birds are concerned. I know that Mark Henry Jr. is going to pitch this at 4:00. I'm with them on A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
And I was all Dallas Goddard up. I just don't see Dallas getting the amount that he will need to win this award. Again, the chemistry is there. He got 8 targets last week. I could still see that happening this week or two, in February 9th, but I just don't think that that's going to be enough to take it from Jalen Hurts' hands if that's the case. So for me on the wide receiver position, other than Saquon or Jalen, it's got to be AJ. And maybe AJ could just be that difference maker. Maybe he hits that long bomb in the corner like he did in 57. Maybe he's catching a bunch of slants. He's getting 10+ targets. He catches 9 of them. He goes for $130, 2 touchdowns. Like, maybe then I could see AJ, and then the all-important reason to bring it all in together, it's the price at 35-1.
Yeah. I think AJ is the best. If you're going to go, non-Jalen, non-Saquon, the Eagles win the game. I think AJ is probably the best bet after that, just for all the reasons that you explained and that Mark is going to explain. I don't hate a sprinkle at all on Dallas Goedert. I mean, $5 will get you $600, man. Like, I don't hate that at all. And the Chiefs, they're giving up an average of 70 yards, 6 catches and 70 yards a game to the tight end position. I mean, you can throw the ball against them, go over the middle. I don't hate Dallas Goedert. I mean, if this is you're probably predicting a low scoring game. You're probably predicting a game where Goedert probably has what he had last week, something like 7 catches, 80 yards, touchdown, probably a 23-17 game. I think that's probably the game script that would lend itself to a Dallas Goedert MVP win. It's 120-1. I mean, those are really good. Those are really fun odds to play with. Like, yeah. I think again, you go heavy on Jalen, you go heavy on guys like that. A little sprinkle on AJ, a little sprinkle on Dallas Goedert never hurt anybody.
Okay, I don't hate it. I don't hate it whatsoever. Back to your point about it getting ugly, and that's the only way a defensive player is going to win MVP, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think a defensive player would have to be, like that 13-3 game that we saw. The
and
Rams
hell, as you pointed out, Edelman won it.
Right, and Edelman won it because he got 100 something yards. So I think you'd have to have a really just an ugly game. Like, I'm trying to think defensively, like, who would it be? Because I know a lot of people say, oh, Jalen Carter, because he'll get a bunch of sacks. But like, I think you almost need to either have a couple picks or a score. Ooh. Like, I don't think Jalen Carter is going to score a touchdown. Like, I don't, I don't think Quinyon Mitchell. I mean, he might have an interception. I don't think he's going to take it to the house. So I'm if you pick a defensive guy, I'm kind of up on the air on who you would take, because I'm not exactly sure. I don't think Zach Bond's going to score. Like, is he going to have more than 1 interception? Doubtful. I don't know. I think someone in the group chat, they threw a Nolan Smith out there.
Yep, McClay did.
I don't hate it. A cup of coffee. I don't hate Nolan Smith. I don't know what the odds are, but again, it's probably worth a couple dollars for sure.
Yeah, the Nolan Smith number is 150-1.
Okay.
And he brought up the interceptions, and it takes me back to the Cowboys versus the Steelers with
Larry Brown. Yeah. Like I said, it's going to have to be a Larry Brown type of performance, or again, just somebody an absolute game wrecker type of, maybe Chris Jones, if you want to pick the Chiefs, maybe Chris Jones gets loose for a couple sacks, but again, we're here talking about the Eagles. So,
and it's like, when McClay wrote us his thoughts on Nolan Smith again, he was just throwing something because, well, I had a free bet, so he put it there, and it's a good number.
Sure.
He pitched the idea of like 2 sacks and a forced fumble, and I'm like, I think you need more.
Well, again, if it's 2 sacks and a forced fumble and the game is like 13-10,
Then
maybe you're okay, right? That's what I'm thinking. I think you got to put everybody in like 3 buckets, right? Like, the almost locks, like the 2 quarterbacks and Saquon.
Yep.
And then the 2 guys who are like, all right, nice little flyers just in case, they get loose, AJ and Dallas guy or whoever, then guys like that. And then just throw like a little couple dollars on something fun, Nolan Smith. I mean, I'm sure we'll all be at Super Bowl parties or watch parties doing something fun. So have a little something to talk about, while you're on the couch with your besties. Throw a couple bucks on Nolan Smith and see if it hits.
I like that.
Grease the polls because Bourbon Street has officially turned midnight green.
How about our quarterback? I knew he was going to play that way. I knew it. Don't doubt him. All he does is win.
All things Big Game 59 right here on The Gambler.